Okay, so I'm driving through Union City. Not much to see here. A lot bigger than Delphi, though. I think Delphi has 3,000 people. I think we have 10 or 15,000. So, but just a small town. Mostly farms. And like any small towns, it's churches and banks. So that makes up the community of Union City, Tennessee. Banks and churches. I would probably throw in pharmacies and doctors. That would be the essentials in Tennessee. Jesus, money, and prescription drugs basically makes up Union City. So anyway, while I was in Union City, I wanted to talk a little bit about a couple other things that's happened in Union City since I've lived here. And I think we were in 6th grade. Amanda Rhodes was her name. She was in our class, our grade, so 6th grade. She had went to school that morning, and somewhere between homeroom and lunch, she left. Now, she didn't get a ride. She walked home. From where she lived to the school, I'd say walking probably 2.5, maybe 3 miles. But any event, by lunch, they had noticed that she was gone, and her mother didn't come pick her up. Nobody come picked her up, so they started looking for her. And by the end of the day, they had brought all the kids back to the the cafeteria, and I think it was about an hour before we were actually supposed to leave school, because when they came over the intercom, they had told us that they had found Amanda and that she had passed away, and that the parents were coming to get us. So stay in the cafeteria until your parents are, up here. We'll let you know, then y'all go meet up with your parents. Well, all we knew was that she died. Of course, when we got home and things started coming out, I lived on the same street as Amanda. It was Division Street in Union City. I think she lived with her mother and like her brother-in-law, something like that. It's been years, like decades. So apparently Amanda had went home, and Mo Teeters, I think it's her half-brother, her brother-in-law, I'm not sure. I haven't looked all this stuff up yet. So, like I said, once I get all this information, I'll let y'all know. But from what I can remember, this is what we're going on today, because I really don't have nothing else to do right now. I'm running some errands, so I am making a video. Mo Teeters had tied Amanda up, molested her, killed her, molested her again, and impaled a axe through her skull. He then took her naked body and dumped it in front of Goodyear Tire Plant in Union City, Tennessee. The papers said when they found her, they thought it was a grown woman. When they got to the scene, they realized that she was not, and that it was totally and completely upsetting and brutal. Mo Teeters was caught, arrested. At the time, her father was the chief of police in Union City. So, as he got processed and went to jail, he escaped. Wink, wink. From a county jail where the jail cells were at the top of the building. There was no way he would have been able to escape. No way. Alright, so I had to stop for a second. Talk to somebody. So where was I? Oh yeah, Mo Teeters escapes. Now you gotta remember what I've already told you about David Rhodes, right? Amanda's father being the chief of police, and all of a sudden her killer escapes. Alright? 2-week manhunt. We just knew they was going to find him dead. Just knew it, right? They actually brought him back in, safe and sound. Couldn't believe it. Even at my age, you know, we just knew he was going to be dead. And then the weirdest thing happened. I don't know how long after that it was, but I can say that Mo Teeters hung himself from a air conditioned unit in his jail cell. So yeah, that's basically the story of Amanda Rhodes. Like I said, it was very graphic and very, very brutal. I'll get the information out for y'all so y'all can see that. It's hard to find. You're not gonna find a lot of it on Google. So I'm gonna have to go here to the sheriff's department if they'll give me anything on it. It really all depends. It really probably all depends on Mo Teeters' part in this, because pretty sure everybody in Union City knew that man was gonna die. One way or another, that man was gonna die. And I seriously cannot blame the chief. I can't blame him on that. And since I'm going down this way, y'all won't be able to see it unless I turn around the camera. This is one that I want to go in depth to because it's still ongoing as far as missing children go. When I think this was before I had even started school. Now, I might have been in kindergarten, maybe. I might have been like 6, something like that. I was young. I was still living out in the country. That was before I moved to Division Street. And a little girl named Marlena Childress vanished from her home on Division Street. Division Street. You hear that name once, at least once in this video? You've heard that name, Division Street? Yeah. Her mother was the prime suspect. They could never find enough evidence to convict her. It actually got so much attention that they had a special on Unsolved Mysteries about Marlena Childress' disappearance. There was a couple of sightings of her in like Texas and stuff like that, and Unsolved Mysteries yielded no results as far as anybody calling in, you know, saying that they knew where she was. So decades pass, you know, Marlena would probably be either my age or maybe a year or two younger or older, you know, if she's still alive now. But weird thought. In fact, Marlena's mother tried to kill her son in a graveyard. In a graveyard. With a knife. He was able to get away, get to someone's house, and call the cops. She was arrested. Don't really know the rest of that story either. She's one of those that they pretty much figured was out of her mind anyway. But they always figured that Marlena's mother had something to do with her disappearance. They just couldn't prove it. And then, you know, decades later, she tries to kill her son. So, you know, just goes to know you, right? Division Street, which we are on right now. I am going to turn this phone around one good time and let you see Marlena's house, the last house that she lived in. Alright, so this is the house that she lived in. Alright, did y'all see that? And then I will show you the house I lived in once I moved to Division Street. That's it, right there. 504 North Division. I don't know if you can see that sign right there. College and North Division. Maybe if I go over here like this. Alright, you see that? Alright. Okay, now, that's 2, right? Alright. Now, I am not as sure on Marlena's mother's house at the time. I thought it was all the way down this street. It's all the way down Division is what I'm thinking. I may have to Google for that, or just ask locals which house it was. But I'm thinking it was one of these. Somewhere through here. It was one of these. So, and if I'm wrong, you know, I'll say I'm wrong, and I'll show y'all the exact place one day once I do all this, you know, for real, get all this done. But yeah, you know, we've had murders in Union City, of course. You know, every town does. But we never had one that struck to the heart of Union City like Amanda's did. And it's funny because you could find nothing. You could find nothing on Google or YouTube about it. You know, you look up Amanda Rhodes, Union City, Tennessee, and you'll see her tombstone. You'll see her graveside. You'll see her headstone. You know, but that's it. But none of the information that goes along with it. You know, there's a few stories about Mo, but I don't really think it says much. You know, so you know, things happen in small towns, and it hits small towns harder than it hits most because of, you know, we feel safe here. You know, we're not expecting, you know, just big evil here. You know, but there was this road I just passed, there was a murder maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago there. Didn't know the guy. But it didn't, you know, it wasn't sending chills through people's spines. It wasn't, you know, a shock to the community. It was more like, okay, it's on this side of town. More than likely, it's got something to do with drugs. Now, as far as that goes, a lot of people die in Union City from drug overdose. So, you know, and lots of wrecks, which we'll come back to that too as far as my cousin goes. So I'm going to end this video here because I have got a few things to do, and I cannot do it while I am recording. I do not want to put nobody else in trouble here. I don't know what the hell he was looking at. Apparently he's got a problem. So we're going to let it go here, and I don't know, maybe I'll be back in a minute. I'm not sure. Just figure some stuff out. Alright.